It is never too late to start living your life by design. Hey, designers, if you have been wondering how to tap in with your core customers so that you can get more sales, so that you can get more engagement, so that you can grow your business, this episode is for you. This is a question that I get so often via DMs on social media, even in email. The question is, how do I understand my core customer? Okay, so I'm answering that question for you today. We're going to explore how you can connect with your core customer so that you can transform your business, transform it in the sense that you're going to be able to get sales. You're going to have a customer base that you can tap into every single time you launch a new collection. The goal is to create synergy with your true core customer base. And a lot of people have engagement on social media, right? You have people who are lurking, people who are even commenting, but how many of those people are actually buying, right? How many of them are actually following your journey with bated breath, waiting for you to launch this next collection so that they can support your brand as you move forward, as you continue to grow, and as you continue to create and share with the world this thing that you've been blessed with, this talent that you have inside. So that synergy that you're looking for, it doesn't happen through magic. It's not just going to be a matter of you showing up and posting a couple things here and there. It requires you being interested in your actual customer base, not just what you want to design, not just what you bring to the table, which is valid, what you want to design and what you bring to the table, your design aesthetic and your passion for specific fabrics or specific style lines or aesthetics, that's all valid, right? You also need to be very interested in who's buying this collection. You have to be willing to do the legwork. And yeah, it is a bit of work. All good things take time and effort. The goal is to carve out your piece of the pie as you make your mark in this industry, right? Because there's enough for everybody. I'm excited to dive into this episode, but before we go all the way in, I want to be sure you've heard about the label launch blueprint. Staying stuck in DIY mode has caused too many talented designers to burn out. So after decades of experience in the fashion industry, I've taken all of my brand, design, sample development, marketing, and production expertise and put together an easy to follow step-by-step roadmap so you can take the guesswork out of your launch strategy. No more going around in circles, wondering what to do when and how to do it, and not having support along the way. I want you to give yourself the gift of clarity. Head over to cmdesignagency.com/label launch blueprint for more info, and I cannot wait to connect with you. Now let's get back to it. We're going to talk a bit about Telfar's journey. The beloved Telfar. Yes. Mr. Bushwick Birkin himself. We're going to see how he was able to build rapport with his target audience as we touch on the 5 steps that are going to help you to identify your own. The 5 steps are: 1, analyze your brand persona. Yes, that brand persona again, because you can't have a brand without it. 2 is conduct market research. 3 is create your customer profile. 4 is engage with your target audience. And 5 is test and refine. Test, and then tighten it up so you can find your flow. And you can take notes as I go along, but definitely download the PDF. I actually have a beautiful PDF I prepared for you so that you can keep this guide handy as you move through each step. All right, I'm going to link it in the show notes. It's the target market guide. And I have to be able to have these steps right in front of you so you can execute one after the other, so you can ultimately have that robust customer base to launch your next collection to. All right, because having a beautiful collection is not quite enough, right? You need a customer base. You need an excited and invested set of real people to purchase that collection to make it make sense, right? An independent designer building a fashion brand in this digital era, knowing and loving your customer, understanding them inside and out is one of the key parts of the launch process. And it all begins with step number one in the target market guide, building your brand's foundation, analyzing your brand persona. Understanding your brand persona is like knowing the soul of your business. It's like getting to the core of what that secret sauce is that makes your brand unique and needed and special. It's what makes your brand tick, what makes it stand apart from every other. Telfar Clemens has a motto. He has a tagline, and yes, you should have a tagline for your brand as well. His tagline is not for you, for everyone. And that tagline has helped him elevate into a symbol of inclusivity in this industry. He deliberately uses community-focused strategies in order to engage and expand his customer base. He has a deep connection with his audience's values, and that access that he has literally given his customers to his brand has contributed to his overwhelming success. So for you, as an up-and-coming brand, what is your brand's unique identifying factor? Understanding your brand's secret sauce, that unique identity, is what's going to help to align your collections and your messaging with the right audience, with the right customer base. So how do you hone in on what that identity should look like, what your brand DNA is? Well, first, you want to start by defining your brand mission and your long-term business vision, right? Clearly articulate what your brand stands for. Do this on paper first before you put it out into the world, of course. Take your time with it. We say building your brand persona is an introspective process, right? So you want to know what your brand stands for, what it stands against, and also keep in mind what your goal is. What are you hoping to achieve in this industry? Who are you hoping to serve? Also want to think about the things that make your brand different. What about your core brand values and any social or industry-driven interests that you and your customers share? And then think about the collection you want to launch, right? What styles, what quality, what retail price point do you want to be at? What market level do you want to serve? And also, what is your aesthetic? Are you using specific fabrics? Are you using a certain application of trim or finishing? Is your collection influenced by art or music or any cultural references? What is it about your brand that's unique? And next, let's talk about the power of market research. Market research is critical in identifying consumer desires and behavior. And gathering this type of data is going to help you to uncover real customer needs, and it's going to ensure that your brand resonates with the customers that you are building this collection to serve. So how do you do market research? You can start by using some online tools such as questionnaires and surveys to gather data on customer preferences, on their shopping habits, and on their demographics. You also can keep an eye on your competitors' customer bases. You want to identify what is common about the brand that they are favoring right now and the brand that you're building. And every social media platform has analytical tools. If you go into the settings, you can pull up analytics to see how certain posts are performing, what is doing better, what people are not responding to. Ideally, go to the 2 social media platforms where your potential customers are most active so that you can really get a feel for their behaviors and what their real interests are. Using the insights that you gather from your market research, you can now prepare your customer profiles. That's the next step. Inclusion is one of the values of Telfar Clemens customers. They like to feel like they're part of the process. They want attainable luxury, but not just from any brand. They want it from a brand that makes them feel valued. During one of his recent launches, Telfar gave his customers the power to set the price of the collection. They were able to determine how much they were going to pay for this collection, which is taking inclusion to a whole other level. But that shows how well he understands his customer. He was willing to go all the way there to keep them happy and get them excited. He clearly not just likes and enjoys, but respects his customer base. And that's so interesting because you've heard before that customers buy from brands that they know, like, and trust, right? But first things first, in order to get trust from your customer base, you have to give them something of yourself in the form of messaging and interaction. No, you don't have to let them set the price of your collection, but you want to show them that you see and understand them because it's a two-way street, right? So let's go deeper on that customer profile. The customer persona is going to help you to visualize and understand your ideal customer's desires. Using your market research, you're going to hone in on your target customer base's demographics, and that, of course, includes their age, their gender, income, education, and where they're from, where they're based, etc. And that research that you've done should have also showed you how they move, right? What excites them, what makes them make certain decisions. And that is going to help you hone in on your customers' psychographics. And that includes their lifestyle, their values, their core interests, their buying motivations. So a very basic example of a customer profile might look like this. Maybe she's 30 years old. She's a marketing professional, perhaps. Her income is $70,000 a year. She lives in an urban area, perhaps. She values sustainability, ethical supply chain, and she prefers to shop online because it's convenient, but stays away from those cheaper fast fashion brands because she's looking for more value for her money. She's willing to pay a little more for the quality, for the craftsmanship, and for individuality that smaller niche brands provide her with. And because sustainability is important to her, she's following many eco-friendly brands on social media. So that's just an example. Once you have a list of these demographics and psychographics for your specific customer, you're going to be able to create that messaging and begin to interact with this customer base in a way that makes them feel valued, makes them feel seen, and want to get to know more about your brand. Again, it's a two-way street, right? You learn, then you give, and then they reciprocate. That's the synergy that you're looking for. So once you understand the customer base that you are catering to, then you'll be able to start to build that trust, to start to engage, to start to build out your messaging, which brings us to the next step, which is engaging with your audience. Directly engaging with your customer base helps to validate what you believe them to be, who you believe them to be, I should say. And it helps you to refine your understanding of their needs and their wants. And engagement goes way beyond marketing. It's about building rapport and forming lasting relationships and building positive buzz in the marketplace. One of the ways Telfar kept his community engaged was by allowing them to vote publicly on which designs he should produce. And that has helped him to foster this strong and loyal following. He has what I call raving fan customers who are ride or die. They know him, they love him, they know that he understands and loves them, and it's a two-way street, that reciprocation. So how can you, being a blossoming brand, not quite where Telfar is right now, how can you begin to engage with your customer base? First, you have to know that you are an authority on your type of brand. You are an authority on the type of fabric that you're using. You are an authority on the type of design aesthetic that you're offering. You are an authority on the solution you're bringing to market. You are an authority that shows up boldly and interacts often and confidently on social media and via email. You are a designer, a founder, right? You have to stand in that space. You have to own this thing, all right? If you don't own it, nobody's going to come and hold that space for you. You have to step into your own and embrace your right to build this thing and stand on your convictions and put out this beautiful brand that you're building so that you can begin to build that rapport and build that buzz that's going to help foster your growth. And you want to have an inviting atmosphere so there's a sense of community on your social media pages so that past customers and potential future customers can feel comfortable sharing their feedback and interjecting their comments and maybe sharing their experiences there as well. And last but not least, step number 5 is test and refine. You want to test and adjust your marketing based on the feedback and the needs of your target market. Some think that means, oh gosh, it's time to invest in ads. But before you invest in ads, before you go on to paid marketing, focus all your energy on organic marketing by sharing videos and verbiage posts behind the scenes of your brand. And you want to create each post to appeal to something that you know your customers are thinking about or hoping for or care about or wondering about. Everything you put out there should be with them in mind so you can observe their responses and their reactions to make sure you're on the right track. And remember that you can also pop into their DMs, right? Ask them for feedback on this type of brand that you're putting out there to see if it aligns with what you believe they need. Then you can use this feedback, the insights, all of this data to further refine your core customer persona. And as you tighten up that persona, your content and your marketing strategies will also be tightened up to create even more alignment. Use these 5 steps one at a time to deepen your understanding of your core customer base, your true core customer base, and refine your organic marketing strategy. One of the biggest issues with brands that launch before they know who their customer is that they end up with little to no sales. You don't want to launch your collection without understanding your customer from day one and having that database, that email list chock full of real people who are interested in your brand and eager for you to launch. So remember to tap into the show notes so you can get your download of the Target Market Guide. And there's a little something extra in there. I put a little pro tip in for each of the steps, all right, to give you even more clarity. So don't miss out. Now, I know you already know that launching a collection is a journey. And not everybody has the grit and the follow through to get it done, right? Unfortunately, right? And what we also know is that success leaves clues. And that's why you're here listening today. So keep moving forward because it is worth every single bit of effort. Every bit. I was talking to my son, Brendan, this morning about the meaningful things in life. After my morning walk, my mind was clear and I get so many creative thoughts when I go for my walk. It's really good in so many ways. And when I came back, he's sitting there on the couch. So I don't know how we got into the conversation, but there are 4 main things that I talk to him about, 4 things that really soothe our soul. Aside from safety and sustenance and faith, right? Those are a given. You have to eat, you have to have roof over your head, and you have to have something to hold on to, right? But the 4 things that I'm talking about are freedom, flexibility, finances, and fulfillment. And building your own brand is one way that we as designpreneurs, entrepreneurs, however you want to slice it, can invite every one of those things into our lives. So I hope today's information and insights inspire you to deepen your understanding of your own customer base and refine your organic marketing strategy. Don't worry about paid ads. Paid ads is not going to do a doggone thing if you don't know the customer that you're catering to in the first place. Because when you're at the point where you're ready to run ads, you have a target market you have to hit still. So either way, you have to really understand your core customer base. It starts with you diving in and getting real interested in who they are. So put your big girl panties on, as one of the designers in my program just said the other day. And keep the faith, okay? Because I see you. I believe you. You got this. You got this. And I'll see you again soon. Thank you for tuning in to the Life by Design show, We welcome your feedback, so if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, leave a review, or share it with your friends. And if there's someone you think I should consider bringing in for a combo, send me a DM on social. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the other side.